Okay. Okay. I'd sing some different shloka today. Helodhulita kedaya vishadaya pronila damodaya shashwat shastra vivadaya sa rasadaya chittarpiton madaya shashwat bhakti vinodaya samadaya madhurya maryadaya Shri Chaitanya Dayanidhe Tavadaya Bhuyadamandodaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, continuing with Mahabharata, Kairata Parva, chapter 334. Vaishampayana said, on hearing Bhimasena's words, Kunti's son Yudhishthira, a tiger among men and the scorcher of enemies, sighed and reflected. Having reflected for an instant, and having decided what he should do, he immediately replied to Bhimasena, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, O mighty armed one, it is as you say. O one who is wise with words, but also listen to the words that I have to say. O Bhimasena, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, great sins that are begun only out of courage bring pain. O mighty armed one, but an act that is well advised, well powered, well executed, and well planned is successful in its objective and is divinely auspicious. Out of your own strength and insolence and out of rashness, you have thought about a deed that needs to be done. But listen to what I have to say about that. Bodhishrava, Shalya, the valorous Jarasandha, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Drona's valorous son, Ashwatthama, and Dhritarashtra's invincible sons with Duryodhana at the forefront. All of them have their weapons ready and are prepared to murder. The kings and the lords of the earth, whom we suppressed, have resorted to the Kaurava side and are affectionate towards them. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, they now seek to do good to Duryodhana, not to us. Their treasury is full, and they have a large army. They will make an effort to protect these. All the Kaurava armies, with their sons, advisors, and soldiers, have been given riches and honors everywhere. The warriors have been specially honored by Duryodhana. It is my certain view that they will give up their lives for him in battle. Though the conduct of Bhishma, the mighty armed Drona, and the great-souled Kripa is equal, they will certainly be driven by the royal morsels. Footnote, because they are in the employment of the Kauravas. End of footnote. That is what I think. All of them are knowledgeable in the use of divine weapons, and all of them are devoted to Dharma. Therefore, no matter how precious, they will give up their lives in battle. My view is that they cannot be vanquished, even by the gods and Vasava. Then there is Maharata Karna, intolerant and always angry. He is skilled in the knowledge of all weapons and cannot be assailed because he is covered with impenetrable armor. O Vrikodara, without first defeating in battle all these foremost of men, and without any allies, you cannot kill Duryodhana. I cannot go to sleep when I think of the lightness of hand of the Suta's son. Karna. He is foremost among all those who handled the bow. Bhimasena was intolerant, but having heard these words, he became pensive and alarmed at the truth of these words, and did not reply anything. When the two Pandavas were thus conversing, Satyavati's son, the great yogi Vyasa, arrived. When he arrived, he was duly worshipped by the Pandavas, and the supreme among eloquent ones then spoke these words to Yudhishthira. O Yudhishthira, O mighty armed one, O bull among men, I have swiftly come here because with my insight I got to know what was passing through your heart. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, O killer of enemies, I will dispel the fear that exists in your heart about Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, Karna, and Drona's son. I will tell you how they can be legitimately killed according to the rules. On hearing this, regain your composure and do what needs to be done. Then Parashara's son, Vyasa, spoke to Yudhishthira alone, and that eloquent of speakers told him words of grave import. O supreme among those of the Bharata lineage, the time for you to regain your fortune will come. Partha Dhananjaya will overcome the enemies in battle. Accept from me this knowledge known as Pratismriti, as I recount it to you. It is success personified. On receiving it from you, the mighty armed Arjuna will be successful. O Pandava, for the sake of weapons, he must go to the great Indra, Rudra, Varuna, the Lord of Riches, that is Kuvera, and Dharmaraja, Yama. Because of his austerities and valor, he has the power to see the gods. He is an immensely energetic rishi. He is the ancient, eternal, and everlasting God who is Narayana's companion and part of Vishnu. That's Nara. When he has obtained weapons from Indra, Rudra, and the Lokapalas, the mighty armed one will perform great deeds. O Kaunteya, O Lord of the earth, think about leaving this forest and going to another forest that is more appropriate for your residence. It is never very pleasant to live in the same place for a long time. This can cause anxiety to the serene ascetics. Since you support many Brahmanas who are learned in the Vedas and the Vedangas, the deer will be exhausted and the plants and herbs will decay. Having spoken thus, the illustrious Lord, Satyavati's intelligent son Vyasa, who was learned in yoga, taught Dharmaraja, who had purified himself, that supreme knowledge of yoga. He then took Kaunteya's leave and instantly disappeared. Yudhishthira, the intelligent one with Dharma in his soul, carefully nurtured that knowledge of the Brahman in his mind, repeating it from time to time. He was happy with Vyasa's words. Leaving the forest of Dvaitavana, he went to the forest of Kamyaka on the banks of the Saraswati. O great king, just as the rishis follow Indra of the gods, the Brahmana ascetics, learned in words and sounds, followed him. On arriving at Kamyaka, the great-souled bulls among the Bharatas began to live there, with their advisors and followers. O king, those intelligent ones lived there for some time. The warriors engaged themselves in the science of archery and listened to the supreme Vedas. They went out on hunts every day, seeking to kill deer with pure arrows. In accordance with the rites, they offered oblations to the ancestors the gods and the Brahmanas. 335. Vaishampayana said, after some time, Dharmaraja Yudhisthira remembered the sage's words. He spoke privately to Arjuna, bull among the Bharata lineage, and whose wisdom was known. He smiled at him and gently took him by the hand. After thinking for an instant about their abode in the forest, Dharmaraja, the destroyer of enemies, secretly spoke to Dhananjaya. O king, the intelligent one thought about it and said, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, the 4 parts of Dhanurveda are today established in Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, and Drona's son. They know all types of Brahma, divine and Asura weapons, how to release them and how to counter them. They know the use of all weapons and how to counter them. All of them have been pacified by Dhritarashtra's son. He has gratified them with gifts and treats them like preceptors. He always exhibits the best of conduct toward all the warriors. Thus revered by him, they will not fail to show their power when the time comes. Today, the entire earth is under Duryodhana's suzerainty. You are our last refuge, and a great burden is vested in you. O destroyer of enemies, I see that the time has come for you to perform a task. O son, I obtained secret knowledge from Krishna Dvaipayana. If you will use it, the entire universe will become visible to you. O son, having attentively received this Brahmana, when the time is right, you must seek the favor of the gods. He's calling him son because the word Tata is a term of endearment, and sometimes it means son, and sometimes it means father, but it's a term of endearment. O bull among the Bharata lineage, devote yourself to terrible austerities. Armed with a bow, armor, and sword, be like the revered sage. O son, without allowing anyone to pass you, traverse a path towards the northern direction. O Dhananjaya, Indra possesses all the divine weapons. Out of fear from Vritra, the gods gave all their powers to Indra. They are all accumulated in one place. Go to Shakra, and he will give all the weapons to you. Be consecrated and set out immediately for the god Purandara. Having uttered these words, the Lord Dharmaraja imparted the knowledge to him. After he was consecrated according to the rites and controlled in speech, body, and mind, the elder brother then gave the warrior brother the permission to leave. On Dharmaraja's instructions that he should meet the god Purandara, he grasped the bow, Gandiva, and the great inexhaustible quivers. He clad himself in armor, leather gloves, leather arm guards, and finger guards. The mighty armed one offered oblations into the fire, and having received gold coins, the Brahmanas pronounced their blessings. Having grasped his bow and arrows, sighing and casting a glance upwards, the mighty armed one then left, for the sake of the destruction of Dhritarashtra's sons. On seeing Kaunteya grasp his bow and arrows, the Brahmanas, the Siddhas, and the invisible beings said, O Kaunteya, may you swiftly obtain the desire in your heart. Arjuna's gait was like that of a lion, and his thighs were like trunks of shala trees. The hearts of everyone went with him, and Krishna, Draupadi, told him, O mighty armed Dhananjaya, O Kaunteya, all that Kunti wished for you at the time of your birth, and all that you desire for yourself must come true. Let none of us ever be born in the lineage of Kshatriyas again. I always salute the Brahmanas who never have to make a living out of war. All your brothers will spend their waking hours in repeatedly praising and recounting your valorous deeds, O Partha. But if your sojourn proves to be a long one, we will find no satisfaction in our minds, in our comforts, riches, and even in our lives. O Partha, all of our happiness and unhappiness is now established in you, our life and death, our kingdom and our prosperity. O Kaunteya, I take leave of you. O Pandava, may all be well with you. I bow down before Datta and Vidata. May all be well along your path and may you be healthy. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, may you be safe from all beings in the sky, the earth and heaven, and may all other beings not create obstructions in your path. The mighty armed Pandava then circumambulated his brothers and Daumya, and grasping his beautiful bow, departed. All the beings left the path the illustrious and valorous one traversed, resorting to yoga so as to be united with Indra. The great souled one reached the sacred mountain in just one day. Having resorted to yoga, he was as fast as thought and like the wind. Having crossed the Himalayas and Gandhamadana and traversing unwearied over inaccessible terrain during night and day, Dhananjaya reached Indrakila, footnote, literally Indra's mountain, end of footnote, and stopped there. He heard a voice from the sky asking him to stop. Then Sabyasachi saw an ascetic seated under a tree. He was thin and yellow, and his hair was matted. He blazed with the radiance of the Brahman. On seeing that he had stopped, the great ascetic spoke to Arjuna. "O son, who are you? You have come here clad in armor and with bows and arrows. You have girded on a sword and have leather gloves. You are following the dharma of Kshatriyas. But there is no use for weapons here. This is a peaceful region, populated by ascetic Brahmins who have control, anger, and delight. The bow has no use here, nor is there any fighting. Therefore throw down your bow. You have reached your supreme objective." Thus the Brahmin repeatedly spoke to Arjuna, but the brave one, of infinite energy, as if he was an ordinary man. Yes. But so firm was he that he could not dislodge him from his resolution. Then the Brahmana was extremely pleased and smilingly told him, "O fortunate one, O destroyer of enemies, I am Shakra. Choose a boon." Having been thus addressed by the one with 1,000 eyes, Dhananjaya, the brave extender of the Kuru lineage, joined his hands in salutation and bowed and replied, "O illustrious one, this is the object of my desire. Please grant it to me as a boon. I wish to obtain from you today the knowledge of all weapons." The great Indra was extremely pleased and smilingly replied, "O Dhananjaya, you have attained this place. What use will weapons be to you? Ask for desires and worlds. You have attained the supreme objective." Having been thus addressed, Dhananjaya replied to the one with 1,000 eyes, "I do not wish for worlds, desires, or divinity, not to speak of happiness. O Lord of the 30 gods, I do not wish for lordship over the gods. If I forsake my brothers in the wilderness and do not avenge the enmity, I will attain infamy in all the worlds for an eternity." Having been thus addressed, the slayer of Vritra, worshipped in all the worlds, told Pandu's son in consoling words, "O son, when you have seen the Lord of all beings, the three-eyed Shiva who wields the trident, I will then give you all the divine weapons. O Kaunteya, act so that you are able to see that supreme God." When you have seen him, you will be successful and will go to heaven. Having spoken thus to Falguna, Shakra disappeared. Shall I read a bit more? I will. 336. Janamejaya said. Now Janamejaya.
Yeah, of course. Just carry on.
Okay. So Janamejaya, he's asking Vaishampayana, O illustrious one, I wish to hear in detail how Partha, the one whose deeds are unsullied, obtained the weapons. What did the long-armed Dhananjaya, tiger among men, do? O one who knows about the Brahman, what did he do while he lived there? How did he satisfy the illustrious Stanu, Lord of the gods? O supreme among Brahmanas, through your grace I wish to hear all this. You are omniscient. You know everything, divine and human. O immensely wise one, the ancient battle between Arjuna, supreme among warriors and unvanquished in battle, and Bhava was unparalleled and extraordinary and made one's hair stand up. On hearing about it, the hearts of the brave Parthas, lions among men, also trembled in despondency, delight, and great surprise. Tell me everything about Partha's deeds. I do not see the slightest thing to censure in Jishnu, that's Arjuna. Recount to me everything about the character of that brave one. Vaishampayana said, O son, O tiger among the Kauravas, I will recount for you the divine, great, and extraordinary story of that great-souled one. O unblemished one, hear in detail the account of Partha's meeting with Trayambaka, god of the gods, where there was a physical contact. On Yudhishthira's instructions, the infinitely valorous one set out to see Shakra, lord of the gods, and Shankara, god of the gods. To ensure that his task met with success, the immensely strong and mighty-armed Arjuna, bull among men, took his divine bow and sword. O king, with a steadfast mind, Kauravya, Indra's son, Arjuna, Mahabharata and all the worlds, set out in a northward direction for the peak of the Himalayas. His mind was fixed on austerities. He swiftly entered a terrible forest that was full of thorns. It was full of many flowers and fruit, and was populated by many birds. It was full of many types of animals, and was frequented by siddhas and charanas. When Kaunteya entered the forest that was bereft of men, the sounds of conch shells and drums could be heard from heaven. A great shower of flowers fell down on the ground. A net of clouds covered everything with shade. Passing through the forest that was difficult of access, he approached the great mountain. In all his splendor, Arjuna then lived on the peak of the Himalayas. He saw many flowering trees there, resounding with the sweet sounds of birds. There were rivers with many currents, tinged like blue lapis lazuli, echoing with the sounds of swans and ducks, the cries of cranes, and resounding with the notes of male cuckoos, herons, and peacocks. On seeing the beautiful woods and the pure, cool, and clear water, the great warrior Arjuna was delighted. The great souled Arjuna then engaged in terrible austerities in a beautiful region of that beautiful forest. He clad himself in darba grass, bark, and deerskin, and carried a staff. In the first month, he ate fruits once every period of 3 nights was over. In the second month, it was for double the period. In the third month, he ate once every fortnight, surviving on decayed leaves that fell down on the ground. When the fourth moon arrived and the moon was full, the mighty armed son of Pandu survived only on air. He raised up his arm, and without anything for support, stood on the tips of his toes. Because of the frequent baths he took, the matted hair of that great-souled one, whose energy was infinite, became as lustrous as lightning and the lotus. Then all the Maharshis went to Pinaki. They prostrated themselves before the immensely illustrious one with the dark throat and sought his favors as Shiva. Right? They told him about Falguna's deeds. This immensely energetic Partha has established himself on the peak of the Himalayas. He is engaged in difficult and terrible austerities, and the smoke is emerging in all directions. O Lord of the gods, none of us knows what he wishes for. He is tormenting us. It would be better if he were to be restrained. Maheshwara replied, in a happy frame of mind and without fatigue, swiftly return to wherever you have come from. I know the resolution that is fixed in his mind. He does not wish for heaven or riches or a long life. I will accomplish today everything that he wishes for. Having heard Sharva's words, all the truthful rishis returned to their hermitages in happy frames of mind. You're muted, Mathura.
I'll carry on. I'll carry on. Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant. Wow. Okay. So we're on page 384, chapter 337, episode 40 of the Mahabharata Kairata Parva. Wow. Vaishampayana said, when all those great-souled ascetics had departed, the illustrious Lord Hara, the destroyer of sins and the one with the pinnaker in his hand, assumed the form of a kirata, blazing like a kanchana tree and resplendent in form like Miru among the mountains. He grasped his handsome bow and many arrows that were like venomous serpents. He descended with great force, like a flame, like a fire consuming the undergrowth. The illustrious one was accompanied by the goddess Uma, attired in the same way and observing the same vow. All the beings in their different forms were then greatly delighted. O king, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, in his form of a hunter and accompanied by thousands of women, he blazed forth. In an instant, that entire forest became silent. The sounds of streams and birds stopped. As he approached Partha of the unblemished deeds, he saw the extraordinary sight of Mukha, a son of Diti. He had assumed the form of a boar, and the supremely evil one wished to kill Arjun. Falguna picked up his Gandiva bow and arrows that were like venomous serpents. He strung his supreme bow, and as the twang of the bowstring resounded, he said, I have come here without causing you any injury, but since you nevertheless desire to kill me, I will first send you to Yama's abode today. On seeing the firm-bowed Falguna about to shoot, Shankar, in the form of the hunter, suddenly restrained him. I was the one who sought this with the colour of a blue cloud first. However, disregarding these words, Falguna struck. At that very instant, the hunter also unleashed his immensely radiant arrow at the same target, like the crest of a fire or like lightning. The arrows shot by these two simultaneously struck Mukha's gigantic body, which was as solid as a mountain. The two arrows struck him like the force of lightning and the roar of thunder descended on a mountain. He was pierced by more arrows that were like serpents with flames in their mouths. Assuming the terrible form of a Rakshasa, he then gave up his life. On seeing the man with the golden complexion, dressed in the garb of a hunter and accompanied by women, Kunteya, Jishnu, the destroyer of enemies, was delighted and smilingly told him, "O one with the golden complexion, who are you, wandering in this deserted forest and accompanied by women? This animal had been chosen by me. Why did you pierce it? When the Rakshasas had arrived here, I was the one who had picked him first. Whether you did this from desire or with the intention of insulting me, you will not escape with your life. What you have done towards me today is not in accordance with the rules of hunting. O one whose refuge is the mountains, therefore I will kill you today." At Pandava's words, the hunter laughed at him and told Pandava Sabyasachi in soft words, "He became my target first. I was the one who chose him first. It was my shot that robbed him of his life. Insolent about your own strength, do not blame others for your own faults. O evil-minded one, you have insulted me. You will not escape with your life. Stay here. I will shoot arrows like thunder at you. Do the best you can and unleash your arrows at me." Thereupon, both of them repeatedly shouted at each other. They shot arrows that were like venomous serpents at each other. Arjuna covered the hunter with a shower of arrows. But in a happy frame of mind, Shankara received them all. For an instant, the wielder of the pinnacle received that shower of arrows, but stood there like an immobile mountain, unhurt in body. On seeing that his shower of arrows had no effect, Dhananjaya was extremely surprised and exclaimed, "Excellent, excellent! Aha! The one with the delicate body makes a home on the peak of the Himalayas, but he receives the iron arrows unleashed from the Gandiva and is not moved. Who is he? Is he a god? Is he Rudra himself? Is he a Yaksha or the Lord of the gods? The 30 gods often frequent this best of mountains. Except the god Pinaki, there is no one who can withstand the force of the net of thousands of arrows I have created. As long as it is anyone other than Rudra who stands here, be it a god or a Yaksha, I will send him to Yama's abode with my sharp arrows." O king, like the sun spreads out its rays, Jishnu then shot iron arrows by the hundreds, capable of piercing one's weak spots. But the illustrious god, the one who brings fortune to the world and holds the trident in his hand, cheerfully received them, like a mountain withstands a shower of rocks. In a short while, all of Falgun's arrows were exhausted. On seeing that all his arrows were exhausted, he began to tremble. Jishnu thought of the illustrious fire god who had earlier given him two inexhaustible quivers in Kandava. What will I unleash from my bow now? My arrows have been exhausted. Who is this man who swallows up all my arrows? I will kill him with the curved end of my bow, like a terrible spear is used on elephants. Yama wields the staff, and I will send him to his abode. Kunteya, the destroyer of enemies, then grasped him with the curved end of his bow, but the mountain dweller snatched away his divine bow. Bereft of his bow, Arjuna stood there with a sword in his hand. Wishing to end the fight, he dashed at him with great force. With all the valour in his arms, the courageous descendant of the Kuru lineage struck at his head with the sharp sword, one that even mountains could not resist. However, on striking his head, it shattered into pieces. Then, then Falgun began to fight with trees and rocks. But the gigantic and illustrious god, who was in the form of a hunter, withstood the trees and rocks. Smoke billowed from the immensely strong Parta's mouth. He struck that invincible one, who was in the form of a hunter, with fists that had the force of the Vajra. However, the illustrious one, who was in the form of a hunter, struck Falgun with terrible fists that were like Shakra's thunder. As a result of this fight with fists between Pandava and the hunter, the terrible sound of slapping arose there. That great and hair-raising battle with the fists went on for some time, like that ancient battle between Vitra and Vasava. The powerful Jishnu grasped the Kirita and pressed his chest, and the Kirita struck Pandava with great force. As a result of the pressure of their arms and the pressing of their chests, a fire with smoke and embers emerged from their bodies. Then Mahadev grasped his body firmly and attacked him with energy and force, so that he was deluded of his senses. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, thus opposed by the god of the gods, Falgun's body was bruised and became like a ball of flesh. He lost control over his body. Oppressed by the great souled one, his breathing stopped. He fell down unconscious, and Bava was pleased. The illustrious god said, O Falgun, I am pleased with you because of your matchless deeds. There is no Kshatriya who is equal to you in valor and endurance. O unblemished one, your energy and valor has been equal to mine today. O mighty armed one, O bull among men, I am pleased with you. Behold me, O large-eyed one, I will give you eyes. You have been a rishi earlier. You will triumph over all your enemies in battle, even if they happen to be dwellers of heaven. At that, Falgun saw that immensely radiant god, the god Mahadev Girisha, who wields the trident, and the goddess. He knelt down on the ground and bowed down his head in homage. Partha, the conqueror of the cities of enemies, gratified Hara. Arjuna said, Karpadini, O Lord of all beings, O destroyer of Bhagava's eyes, O illustrious God, O Shankara, pardon my transgression. O illustrious one, it was in a desire to see you that I came to this great mountain, beloved by you, Lord of the gods and supreme abode of the ascetics. O illustrious God, worshipped by all the beings, be pleased. O Mahadev, pardon my crime and my extreme bravery. Out of ignorance and insolence, I fought with you. O Shankara, I seek refuge with you. Pardon me. Then the immensely energetic Vrisha Bhadvaja smiled and, grasping Falguna's beautiful hands, said, I have pardoned you. Wasn't that beautiful? I'm going to carry on a little bit. I'll do one more and then
Maybe Mark could read a bit from his volume
if he wants to.
after you've read a bit more.
Okay,
We'll see.
okay.
Yes,
The
I could do that. I'll be happy to do that.
Yeah? Okay, I'll just read this next bit.
Finish. Yeah.
Carry on, okay, after that, okay? The illustrious god said, you were Nara in an earlier body, the companion of Narayan. You spent many achyuta years in fearful austerities in Badri. There is supreme energy in you, like that in Vishnu, supreme among men. Supreme among men. The universe is held up through the energy of the two of you, foremost among men. O Lord, at the time of Chakra's consecration, you and Krishna oppressed the Danavas, and you took up the great bow that thunders like clouds. O Parata, this Gandiva is fit for your hands. O supreme among men, it was that which I snatched from you using my powers of Maya. O Parata, these two quivers will again be inexhaustible, as they used to be for you. O Parata, I am pleased with you. Truth is your valor. O bull among men, accept a boon from me. What is it that you desire? You are the one who shows respect. There is no one on earth who is your equal, nor is there anyone in heaven. O conqueror of enemies, the Kshatriyas find their chief in you. Arjuna replied, O illustrious God, O Vrishadwaja, O Lord, if you wish to grant me that which I desire, I wish for the terrible and divine weapon known as Pashupata. It is known as Brahma Shira. It is fearful and is terrible in prowess. When the terrible end of a yuga approaches, it destroys the entire world. Through this weapon, I can burn down in battle Danavas, Rakshasas, spirits, Pishachas, Gandhavas, and Panagas. When unleashed with mantras, it releases thousands of spears, fearful clubs, and arrows that have virulent poison in them. With it, I will fight in battle Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, and the son of the suitor, who always speaks very harshly. O illustrious God, O destroyer of Bhaga's eyes, this is my first wish. Through your grace, let me be empowered in my pursuit. The illustrious God said, O Pandava, I will give you the great Pashupata weapon, dear to me. You will be capable of bearing, releasing, and withdrawing it. The great Indra, Yama, the king of the Yakshas, Varuna, and Vaya do not know it. How can it be known to humans? O Partha, but it must not be suddenly released at any man. If it is released at someone who lacks in energy, it will destroy the entire universe. There is no one in the three worlds, mobile or immobile, who cannot be killed by it. It can be released through thought, eyes, words, or the bow. Vaishampayana said, on hearing this, Partha swiftly purified and composed himself. He went to the Lord of the universe, who said, learn. Then he taught the best of the Pandavas the mysteries of this weapon, including its withdrawal. It was like the embodied form of death. Wow. From then on, it waited on the three-souled one, the great-souled one, as it did on Trayaksha, the husband of Uma. Arjuna accepted it with a delighted heart. At that, the entire earth, with its mountains, forests, trees, oceans, regions of groves, villages, cities, and towns, began to tremble. When the moment came, the sounds of thousands of conch shells, drums, and kettle drums was heard. A great whirlwind occurred. The gods and the demons saw the embodied form of the blazing and terrible weapon by the side of the immensely energetic Pandava. Triambaka touched the immensely energetic Falgun, and everything that was impure in his body was immediately destroyed. Then Triambaka gave Arjuna permission to leave and go to heaven. Lowering his head in obeisance, Partha joined his hands in salutation and looked at the god. Then the lord of the residence of heaven, the immensely wise Girisha, Shiva, the husband of Uma, gave that supreme of men the great bow known as Gandiva, the destroyer of demons and pishachas. In front of the eyes of that supreme of men, the great god then rose up into the sky, accompanied by Uma, leaving that supreme of mountains with its white peaks, sides, and caverns, and frequented by birds and maharishis. Wow, what a dramatic scene.
Of course, he's already got the Gandiva, though.
Sorry?
Anyway, he's already got the Gandiva.
But he got it back again.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, I get it.
He took it from him, didn't he? So he's given him.
Okay.
And it's got the Pashupata.
Okay.
Isn't it? I mean, that's what it said. I'm just reading what it says.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
is Mark there going to read or not?
Yes, I'm here.
And would you like to put your video on, please, sir?
Okay, hold on. If I can do it. Oh, hold on. Sorry. It's
God,
not...
we can't really, we're going to have to hear because we can't follow you because it's, well.
Yeah, it's slightly different, but it's the same.
Hey, okay, let's go. Let's check it out.
Okay, then. Vaishampayana said, the wielder of the Pinaka, having the bull for his sign, thus disappeared in the very sight of the gazing son of Pandu, like the sun setting in the sight of the world. Arjun, that slayer of hostile heroes, wondered much at this, saying, oh, I have seen the great God of gods. Fortunate indeed I am, and much favoured, for I have both beheld and touched with my hand the three-eyed Hara, the wielder of the Pinaka, in his boon-giving form. I shall win success. I am already great. My enemies have already been vanquished by me. My purposes have already achieved. And while the son of Pritha, endued with immeasurable energy, was thinking thus, he came to that place, Varuna, the god of the waters, handsome and of the splendor of the lapis lazuli, accompanied by all kinds of aquatic creatures, and filling all the points of the horizon with a blazing effulgence, and accompanied by rivers, both male and female, and nagas, and daityas, and sadyas, and inferior deities. Varuna, the controller and the lord of all aquatic creatures, arrived at that spot. There came also the Lord Kubera, of body resembling pure gold, seated on his car of great splendor, and accompanied by numerous yakshas. And the Lord of treasures, possessed of great beauty, came there to see Arjun, illuminating the firmament with his effulgence. And there came also Yama himself, of great beauty, the powerful destroyer of all the worlds, accompanied by those lords of the creation, the Pitris, both embodied and disembodied, and the god of justice, of inconceivable soul, the son of Surya, the destroyer of all creatures, with a mace in hand, came there on his car, illuminating the three worlds with regions of the Guyakas, the Gandharvas, and the Nagas, like a second Surya as he riseth at the end of the Yuga. Having arrived there, they beheld from the effulgent and variegated summits of the great mountain Arjuna engaged in ascetic austerities, and there came in a moment the illustrious Sakra, and also accompanied by his queen, seated on the back of the celestial elephant Airavata, and surrounded also by the deities. And in consequence of the white umbrella being held over his head, he looked like the moon amid fleecy clouds. And eulogized by Gandharvas and rishis endowed with wealth of asceticism, the chief of celestials alighted on a particular summit of the mountain like a second sun. Then Yama, possessed of great intelligence and fully conversant with virtue, who had occupied a summit on the south, in a voice deep as that of the clouds, said these auspicious words: Arjuna, behold us, the protectors of the worlds, arrive here. We will grant thee spiritual vision, for thou deservest to behold us. Thou wert in thy former life a rishi of immeasurable soul, known as Nara, of great might. At the command, O child of Brahma, thou hast been born among men. O sinless one, by thee shall be vanquished in battle the highly virtuous grandsire of the Kurus, Bhishma, of great energy, who is born of the Vasus. Thou shalt also defeat the Kshatriyas of fiery energy commanded by the son of Bharadwaja in battle. Thou shalt also defeat those Danavas of fierce prowess that have been born among men, and those Danavas also that are called Nivatakavachas. And, O son of the Kuru race, O Dhananjaya, thou shalt also lay Karna of fierce prowess, who is even a portion of my father Surya, of energy celebrated throughout the worlds. And, O son of Kunti, smiter of all foes, thou shalt also slay all the portions of celestials and Danavas and the Rakshasas that have been incarnate on earth. And slain by thee, these shall attain to the regions earned by them according to their acts. And, O Falgun, the fame of thy achievements will last forever in the world. Thou hast gratified Mahadeva himself in conflict. Thou shalt with Vishnu himself lighten the burden of the earth. Oh, accept this weapon of mine, the mace I wield, incapable of being baffled by anyone. With this weapon thou wilt achieve great deeds. Vaishampayana continued, O Janamejaya, the son of Pritha then received from Yama that weapon duly, along with the mantras and rites and the mysteries of hurling and withdrawing it. Then Varuna, the lord of all aquatic creatures, blew as the clouds. From a summit he had occupied on the west, uttered these words: O son of Pratha, thou art the foremost of Kshatriyas and engaged in Kshatriya practices. O thou of large coppery eyes, behold me. I am Varuna, the lord of waters. Hurled by me, my nooses are incapable of being resisted. O son of Kunti, accept of me these Varuna weapons, along with the mysteries of hurling and withdrawing them. With these, O hero, in the battle that ensued of your on account of Taraka, the wife of Brihaspati, thousands of mighty Daityas were seized and tied. Accept them of me, even if Yama himself by thy foe, with these in thy hands, he will not be able to escape from thee. When thou wilt, armed with these, range over the field of battle, the land beyond doubt will be destitute of Kshatriyas. Vaishampayana continued. After both Varuna and Yama had given away their celestial weapons, the Lord of Treasures, having his home on the heights of Kailash, then spake, O son of Pandu, O thou of great might and wisdom, I too have been pleased with thee, and this meeting with thee giveth me as much pleasure as meeting with Krishna. O wielder of the bow with the left hand, O thou of mighty arms, thou wert a god before, eternal as other gods. In ancient kalpas, thou hadst every day gone through ascetic austerities along with us. O best of men, I grant thee celestial vision. O thou of mighty arms, thou wilt defeat even invincible Daityas and Danavas. Accept of me also, without loss of time, an excellent weapon. With this thou wilt be able to consume the ranks of Dhritarashtra. Take then this favorite weapon of mine called Atardana. Endued with energy and prowess and splendor, it is capable of sending the foe to sleep. When the illustrious Shankara slew Tripura, even this was the weapon which he shot, and by which many mighty asuras were consumed. O thou of invincible prowess, I take it up for giving it to thee. Endued with the dignity of the Meru, thou art competent to hold this weapon. After these words had been spoken, the Kuru prince Arjuna, endued with great strength, duly received from Kubera that celestial weapon. Then the chief of the celestials, addressing Pritha's son of ceaseless deeds, in sweet words said in a deep voice, as that the clouds or the kettle drums, O mighty armed son of Kunti, thou art an ancient god. Thou have already achieved the highest success and acquired the status of a god. But, O repressor of foes, thou hast yet to accomplish the purposes of the gods. Thou must ascend to heaven. Therefore prepare thou, O hero of great splendor. My own car, with Matali as charioteer, I will soon descend on the earth. Taking thee, O Kaurava, to heaven, I will grant thee there all my celestial weapons. Beholding those protectors of the world assembled together on the heights of Himavat, Dhananjaya, the son of Kunti, wondered much. Endued with great energy, he then duly worshipped the assembled Lokapalas with words, water, and fruits. The celestials then returning that worship went away, and the gods, capable of going everywhere at will and endued with the speed of the mind, returned to the places whence they had come. That bull among men, Arjuna, having obtained weapons thus, was filled with pleasure, and he regarded himself as one whose desires had been fulfilled and who was crowned with success. Indraloka Gamana Parva.
Okay, awesome.
Shall I continue?
Yeah.
Yes. Vaishampayana said, after the Lokapalas had gone away, Arjuna, that slayer of all foes, began to think, O monarch of the car of Indra, and as Gudukesha, gifted with great intelligence, was thinking of it, the car, endued with great effulgence and guided by Matali, came dividing the clouds and illuminating the firmament and filling the entire welkin with its rattle deep as the roar of mighty masses of clouds, swords and missiles of terrible forms, and maces of frightful description, and winged darts of celestial splendor, and lightnings of the brightest effulgence, and thunderbolts and propellers furnished with wheels, and worked with atmosphere expansion, and producing sounds loud as the roar of great masses of clouds were on that car. And there were also on that car fierce and huge-bodied Nagas with fiery mouths and heaps of stones white as the fleecy clouds. And the car was drawn by 10,000s of horses of golden hue, endued with the speed of the wind, and furnished with prowess of illusion. The car was drawn with such speed that the eye could hardly mark its progress. And Arjun saw on that car the flagstaff called Vijayanta, of blazing effulgence, resembling in hue the emerald or the dark blue lotus, and decked with golden ornaments, and straight as the bamboo. And beholding a charioteer decked in gold, seated on that car, the mighty armed son of Pratha regarded it as belonging to the celestials. And while Arjuna was occupied with his thoughts regarding the car, the charioteer Matali, bending himself after descending from the car, addressed him, saying, "O lucky son of Sakra, Sakra himself wishes to see thee. Ascend thou without loss of time this car that have been sent by Indra. The chief of the immortals, thy father, that god of 100 sacrifices, hath commanded me, saying, Bring the son of Kunti hither, let the gods behold him. And Shankara himself, surrounded by the celestials and rishis and Gandharvas and Apsaras, waiteth to behold thee. At the command of the chastiser of Paka, therefore ascend thou with me from this to the region of the celestials. Thou wilt return after obtaining weapons." Arjuna replied, "O Matali, mount thou without loss of time this excellent car, a car that cannot be obtained even by hundreds of Rajasuya and horse sacrifices. Even kings of great prosperity who have performed great sacrifices, distinguished by large gifts to Brahmanas, even gods and Danavas are not competent to ride this car. He that hath not ascetic merit is not competent to even see or touch this car, far less to ride on it. O blessed one, after thou hast ascended it, and after the horses have become still, I will ascend it like a virtuous man stepping into the high road of honesty." Vaishampayana continued, Matali, the charioteer of Sakra, hearing these words of Arjuna, soon mounted the car and controlled the horses. Arjuna then, with a cheerful heart, purified himself by a bath in the Ganges, and the son of Kunti then duly repeated inaudibly his customary prayers. He then duly, and according to the ordinance, gratified the Pitris with oblations of water, and lastly he commenced to invoke the Mandara, that king of mountains, saying, "O mountain, thou art ever the refuge of the holy, heaven-seeking Munis, of virtuous conduct and behavior. It's through thy grace, O mountain, that Brahmanas and Kshatriyas and Vaishyas attain heaven, and their anxieties gone, sport with the celestials. O king of mountains, O mountain, thou art the asylum of Munis, and thou holdest on thy breast numerous sacred shrines. Happily I have dwelt on thy heights. I leave thee now, bidding thee farewell. Oft have I seen thy tablelands and bowers, thy springs and brooks, and sacred shrines on thy breast. I have also eaten the savoury fruits growing on thee, and have slaked my thirst with draughts of perfumed water oozing from the body. I have also drunk the weight. Oh, it says there's a letter missing. I've also drunk the water of thy springs, sweet as Amrit itself. O mountain, as a child sleepeth happily on the lap of his father, so have I, O king of the mountains, O excellent one, sported on thy breast, echoing with the notes of Apsaras and the chanting of the Vedas. O mountain, every day I have lived happily on thy tablelands. Thus, having bidden farewell to the mountain, that slayer of hostile heroes, Arjuna, blazing like the sun himself, ascended the celestial car. And the Kuru prince, gifted with great intelligence, with a glad heart, coursed through the firmament on that celestial car, effulgent as the sun and of extraordinary achievements. And after he had become invisible to the mortals of the earth, he beheld thousands of cars of extraordinary beauty. And in that region there was no sun or moon or fire to give light, but it blazed in light of its own, generated by virtue of ascetic merit. And those brilliant regions that are seen from the earth in the form of stars like lamps in the sky, so small in consequence of their distance, though very large, were beheld by the son of Pandu, stationed in their respective places, full of beauty and effulgence, and blazing with splendor all their own. And there he beheld royal sages crowned with ascetic success, and heroes who had yielded up their lives in battle, and those that had acquired heaven by their ascetic austerities, by hundreds upon hundreds. And there were also Gandharvas of bodies blazing like the sun, by thousands upon thousands, as also Guyakas and Rishis and numerous tribes of Apsaras. And beholding those self-effulgent regions, Falguna became filled with wonder and made inquiries of Matali. And then Matali also gladly replied unto him, saying, These, O son of Pritha, are virtuous persons stationed in their respective places. It is these who thou hast seen, O exalted one, as stars from the earth. Then Arjuna saw standing at the gates Indra's region, the handsome and ever victorious elephant Airavata, furnished with 4 tusks and resembling the mountain of Kailash with its summits, and coursing along that path of the Siddhas, that foremost of the Kurus, and the son of Pandu sat in beauty like Mandata, that best of kings. Endued with eyes like lotus leaves, he passed through the regions set apart for virtuous kings, and the celebrated Arjuna, having thus passed through successive regions of heaven, at last beheld Amaravati, the city of Indra.
Wow, it's amazing because I'm hearing you and reading the book, and it's basically I like the Ganguli one as well very
Yeah,
much. Yeah, it's
yeah.
great. I have to say it. It's interesting. Is Braja, are you there?
Thank you so much, Mark. That I remember the place, time, and the circumstance when I was reading that same passage through Ganguli. So it was very, very sweet to hear it.
Let him go on a bit more. Braja's not quite ready.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I like Gangulis. It's a little
Carry on then,
spicy.
Mark. Carry on. We're all
Okay, shall I
if you're
continue?
for it. If you're up for it.
Yes, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Okay then. Vaishampayana said, And the city of Indra, which Arjuna saw, was delightful, and was the resort of siddhas and charanas, and it was adorned with flowers of every season, and with sacred trees of all kinds. And he beheld also celestial gardens called Nandana, the favourite resort of Apsaras, and fanned by the fragrant breezes, charged with the farina of sweet-scented flowers. The trees with their lord of celestial blossoms seemed to welcome him amongst them. And the region was such that none could behold it who had not gone through ascetic austerities, or who had not poured libations on fire. It was a region for the virtuous alone, and not for those who had turned their back on the field of battle. And none were competent to see it who had not performed sacrifices, or observed rigid vows, or who were without a knowledge of the Vedas, or who had not bathed in sacred waters, or who were not distinguished for sacrifices and gifts. And none were competent to see it who were distributors of sacrifices, or who were low, or who drank intoxicating liquors, or who were violators of their preceptor's bed, or who were eaters of unsanctified meat, or who were wicked. And having beheld those celestial gardens resounding with celestial music, the strong-armed son of Pandu entered the favourite city of Indra. And he beheld there celestial cars by thousands, capable of going everywhere at will, stationed in proper places. And he saw tens of thousands of such cars moving in every direction, and fanned by pleasant breezes, charged with the perfumes of flowers. The son of Pandu was praised by Apsaras and Gandharvas. And the celestials then, accompanied by the Gandharvas and Siddhas and great rishis, cheerfully reverenced Pritha's son of white deeds. Benedictions were poured upon him, accompanied by the sounds of celestial music. The strong-armed son of Pritha then heard around him the music of conches and drums, and praised all around the son of Pritha, then went at the command of Indra to that large and extensive starry way called by the name of Suraviti, where he met with the Sadyas, the Vishwas, the Marutas, the twin Aswins, the Adityas, the Vasus, the Rudras, the Brahma Rishis of great splendor, and numerous royal sages with Dilipa at their head, and Tumvura and Narada, and that couple of Gandharvas known by the names of Haha and Huhu, and the Kuru prince, that chastiser of foes, having met and duly saluted them, last of all beheld the chief of the celestials, the god of 100 sacrifices. Then the strong-armed son of Pritha, alighting from the car, approached the lord himself of the gods, his father, that chastiser of Paka, and a beautiful white umbrella furnished with golden staff was held over the chief of the celestials, and he was fanned with a chamara, perfumed with celestial scents, and he was eulogized by many Gandharvas, headed by Vishwavasu and others, by bards and singers, and by foremost Brahmanas chanting Rig and Yajus hymns, and mighty son of Kunti, approaching Indra, saluted him by bending his head to the ground. And Indra thereupon embraced him with his round and plump arms, and taking his hand, Shakra made him sit by him on a portion of his own seat. That sacred seat was worshipped by gods and rishis, and the Lord of the Celestials, that slayer of hostile heroes, smelt the head of Arjuna, bending in humility, and even took him upon his lap. Seated on Sakra's seat at the command of that god of 1,000 eyes, Pritha's son of immeasurable energy began to blaze in splendor like a second Indra, and moved by affection, the slayer of Vritra, consoling Arjuna, touched his beautiful face with his own perfumed hands, and the wielder of the thunderbolt, patting and rubbing gently again and again with his own hands, which bore the marks of the thunderbolts, the handsome and large arms of Arjuna, which resembled a couple of golden columns, and which were hard in consequence of drawing the bowstring, and sun enhanced. What? Okay, sorry. Something a bit odd here. Maybe it's just a typo. Okay, Arjuna he touched his beautiful face with his own perfumed hand, and the wielder of the thunderbolt, patting and rubbing gently again and again with his own hands, which bore the marks of the thunderbolt, the handsome and large arms of Arjuna, which resembled a couple of golden columns, and which were hard in consequence of drawing the bowstring, and sun, enhanced the beauty of the assembly. Like the sun and moon of god of 1,000 eyes, seeing his son of curly locks, smilingly, and with eyes expanded with delight, seemed scarcely to be gratified. The more he gazed, the more he liked to gaze on, and seated on one seat, the father and son enhanced the beauty of the assembly, like the sun and moon, beautifying the firmament together on the 14th day of the dark fortnight. And a band of Gandharvas headed by Tumvuru, skilled in music, sacred and profane, sang many verses in melodious tones. And Gritachi and Menaka and Ramba and Purvachiti and Swayamprabha and Urvashi and Mishrakeshi and Dandagauri and Varatini and Gopali and Sahajanya and Kumbhayoni and Prajagara and Chitrasena and Chitralekha and Saha and Madhur Swana, these and others by thousands possessed of eyes like lotus leaves, who were employed in enticing the hearts of persons practicing rigid austerities, danced there, and possessing slim waists and fair large hips, they began to perform various evolutions, shaking their deep bosoms, casting their glances around, and exhibiting other attractive attitude capable of stealing the hearts and resolutions and minds of the spectators. Shall I continue?
Matura, Brother's not quite ready yet, so Mark can carry on, yeah?
That was a big big Bollywood extravaganza, that wasn't it?
Yeah,
Amazing.
really, really amazing.
So, I mean, that you. I mean, I tell you what, that was one of the most. I don't. I think it's the most touching, moving. Well, Indra incident I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Mm,
When
It's
they sit on the
it's
same throne together.
it's
yeah,
pure, heroic, godly Vatsalya.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it's not Brudge Vatsalya. It's what goes
Oh
on
no, obviously not.
heavenly Vatsalya.
mm,
And I was getting a bit moved by that. I was. I
Oh,
found it
good.
very moving. I found it very. It's different. It was different, really. And then, yeah, it was like dun 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 dun. Oh, and all come. I mean, everyone, Menaka, every dancing girl you've ever heard of in the heavens was there. Uh, and everybody, it's there's so much detail of every character. So everyone's praised so much. Arjuna's not just some bloke. He's not just a geezer. Everything about him is spectacular. Everybody
Yes.
wants to see him. Everybody wants to know more about him. Everything he does is just brilliant. He's more so than even Indra, because Indra screws up a lot, doesn't he?
lot.
A lot. Whereas Arjuna, he's like on the ball all the time. So he's got a good reputation. It all, he's even up in heaven. They're all waiting.
And he's just been loaded up with like all the celestial missiles
Yeah.
Mm.
that the gods have graced him with. I mean, it's like, I mean, this goes beyond Iron Man.
I know. It's spectacular, isn't it? It's so heroic. He's such a hero. You can't, well,
I'm glad I heard that in the Gangulis.
I like it. I like Ganguli, actually.
Well, when you get to like a scene like that, which is like prophetic and majestic and like wow, and it's like it just kind of like yeah.
so do you want
Really
to,
like Mark reading that. It's really good. Yeah.
do you want to carry on? Is Bradja ready, or is Madam want to read, or what's going on? It's about 8:30. We've got half an hour to go still.
Well, I think Mark can carry on, and then Bradger will take over after that.
There's a
Okay.
very short. There's a very short chapter.
Okay then.
Okay, then.
It's not even a full page. So shall I just do that?
Yeah. Okay.
And then Bradger.
To get
Well, that's not like that in this book.
Well, anyway.
okay.
Shall I
Read it,
continue?
yeah.
I'll continue anyway, and you tell me when to stop. Vaishampayana said, the gods and the Gandharvas then, understanding the wishes of Indra, procured an excellent arghya and reverenced the son of Pritha in a hurry, and giving water to wash both his feet and face, they caused the prince to enter the palace of Indra, and thus worshipped. Jishnu continued to live in the abode of his father. And the son of Pandu continued all the while to acquire celestial weapons, together with the means of withdrawing them. And he received from the hands of Shakra his favorite weapon of irresistible force, viz. The thunderbolt, and those other weapons also of tremendous roar, viz. The lightnings of heaven, whose flashes are inferable from the appearance of clouds and the dancing of peacocks. And the son of Pandu, after he had obtained those weapons, recollected his brothers, and at the command of Indra, however, he lived for a full 5 years in heaven, surrounded by every comfort and luxury. After some time, when Arjun had obtained all the weapons, Indra addressed him in due time, saying, O son of Kunti, learn thou music and dancing from Chitrasena. Learn the instrumental music that is current among the celestials, and which existeth not in the world of men. For, O son of Kunti, it will be to thy benefit. And Purandara gave Chitrasena as a friend to Arjuna, and the son of Pritha lived happily in peace with Chitrasena. And Chitrasena instructed Arjuna all the while in music, vocal and instrumental, and in dancing. But the active Arjuna obtained no peace of mind, remembering the unfair play of dice of Shakuni, the son of Suvala, and thinking with the rage of Dushasana and his death. When, however, his friendship with Chitrasena had ripened fully, he at times learned the unrivaled dance and music practiced among the Gandharvas, and at last, having learnt various kinds of dance and diverse species of music, both vocal and instrumental, that slayer of hostile heroes obtained no peace of mind, remembering his brothers and mother Kunti.
Well, he said it's a short chapter, but it isn't.
That's where it ends. That bit.
Okay. What was the last sentence?
And at last, having learnt various kinds of dance and diverse species of music, both vocal and instrumental, that slayer of hostile heroes obtained no peace of mind, remembering his brothers and mother Kunti.
Wow. I mean, it's I mean, can you imagine going to heaven for your music lessons?
I think that chapter that you just read is not in our one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So here's Braja. You just have to move that.
Yeah.
Okay. Got to get through that dewy grass on Madame's page. So where are you now then?
342.
342, are you sure?
That's where Madan has put me.
What's the page?
Page 401.
Oh, 401. 401.
342. Vaishampayana said, Then, knowing Shakra's mind, the gods and the Gandharvas welcomed Partha with a supreme argya. They offered the king's son Padya and Achamaniya and guided him to the entrance to Purandara's abode. Really? Yes. Where are we at? Okay. Having been shown such homage, Jishnu lived in his father's house. Pandava learned about all the great weapons and the means of withdrawing them. From Shakra's hand, he received his beloved Vajra weapon, impossible to withstand. This made a great roar and was like lightning, marked by the signs of clouds and peacocks. On receiving the weapon, Pandava Konteya thought of his brothers, but on Purandara's instructions, he lived there happily for 5 years. When Partha became skilled in the use of all weapons, and the right time had come, Shakra told him, "O Konteya, now learn singing and dancing from Chitrasena."
Actually, it was the next page, I think. But halfway through the chapter, because he read what he read was that.
Yeah. I'll just finish it. There's not much left. Chitrasena. Learn the music that is only known to the gods and is unknown in the world of men. O Konteya, if you learn this, it will bring you your own welfare. Purandara then gave him to Chitrasena as a friend. Partha lived happily with him, free from all disease. One day, while traveling around, Maharishi Lomasha went to Shakra's abode with a desire to see Purandara. The great sage met and bowed in obeisance before the king of the gods. He saw Pandava seated on half of Vasava's throne. Having obtained Shakra's permission, the best of Brahmanas, worshipped by all the Maharishis, sat down on an excellent seat. On seeing Partha seated on Indra's throne, the thought occurred to him, how could a Kshatriya like Partha attain Shakra's seat? What were his good deeds? What worlds had he won? How had he obtained a place worshipped by the gods? Shakra, the slayer of Vritra, divined his thoughts. Sachi's consort smilingly told Lomasha, O Brahmarshi, hear about the thought that is passing through your mind. Though he has been born as a Kshatriya, this one is not a mere mortal. O Maharishi, the mighty armed one is my son, born from Kunti. He has come here for a specific reason, to obtain weapons. You have not recognized him as that ancient and supreme Rishi. O Brahmana, listen to me. I will tell you who he is and his purpose. Know that those two supreme and ancient Rishis, Nara and Narayan, are none other than Dhananjaya and Rishikesha. O Brahmana, the sacred and famous hermitage named Badri, which cannot be seen even by the gods and the great souled rishis, was the place where Vishnu and Jishnu dwelt. Served by the Siddhas and the Charanas, that is the place from where the Ganga arises. O Brahmarshi, on my instructions, these two immensely radiant ones have been born on earth. These two immensely valorous ones will remove the earth's burden. There are the asuras known as the Nivata Kavachas. Deluded by the boon they have obtained, they are engaged in causing us injury. Insolent because of their strength, they are now talking about killing the gods. Having been granted the boon, they do not show regard for the gods. Those terrible and immensely strong sons of Dhanu live in the nether regions. All the armies of the gods together are incapable of fighting with them. O supreme among Brahmanas, Vishnu, the illustrious slayer of Madhu, the unvanquished god Hari, whose illustrious divine part lived on earth as Kapila, and with an instant glance destroyed the great souled sons of Sagara, who were digging towards Rasatala, is alone capable of this great task that has to be accomplished for our sake. There is no doubt that he, together with Partha, will undertake this great battle. This one, Arjuna, is equal to all of them. Having killed them in battle, the warrior will again return to the world of men. On my instructions, you should yourself return to earth. You will see the brave Yudhishthira dwelling in Kamyaka. He has dharma in his soul and is always devoted to truth. Convey my words and message to him. He should not be anxious on account of Palguna. He will soon return after accomplishing the task of obtaining weapons. Without the sacred valor of his arms, and without having obtained the weapons, you will not be able to withstand Bhishma, Drona, and the others in battle. The mighty armed and great-souled Gudakesha has obtained the weapons. He has become skilled in divine dancing, music, and singing. O Lord of men, O destroyer of enemies, you yourself, with all your brothers, should see all the venerated places of pilgrimage. O Indra among kings, having bathed at these sacred places of pilgrimage, you will be cleansed of sin and overcome your fever.
That's the message of Indra to Yudhishthira.
Bereft of sin, you will enjoy the kingdom. O best of Brahmanas, O foremost among Brahmanas, you have the power of austerities. You should protect him as he travels the earth. Terrible Rakshasas always live in the passes of mountains and in uneven regions. Always protect him from them. Lomasha, great in austerities, promised accordingly. He then left for the earth towards Kamyaka forest. He met there Konteya Dharmaraj, the destroyer of enemies, surrounded everywhere by ascetics and his brothers. 343. Janamejaya asked, O Brahmana, what did the immensely energetic Dhritarashtra say when he heard of the extraordinary deeds of the infinitely energetic Partha? Vaishampayana said, having heard from Dvaipayana, best of rishis, that Partha had gone to Shakra's world, the king, who was Ambika's son, spoke these words to Sanjaya. O charioteer, O Suta, by any chance, do you know of the deeds of the intelligent Partha? Tell me everything in detail. My son is mad and follows the dharma of the vulgar. He is evil in his soul and fixed on sin. That one of wicked intelligence will destroy the earth. The words of the great souled one are always true, even in jest. He has Dhananjaya as his warrior and will win the three worlds. When Arjuna shoots his barbed iron arrows, pointed at the tips and sharpened on stone, is there anyone who has conquered death and old age so as to withstand him? All my evil souls sons are under the sway of death. A fight with the invincible Pandava confronts them. I think about this all the time. Yet I do not see a charioteer who can withstand Gandivadanva in battle. Even if Drona or Karna advanced against him in battle, or Bhishma himself. There is no doubt a great calamity confronts the world, but I do not see our victory. Karna is contemptible and negligent. The preceptor is old and also his teacher. Partha is wrathful, driven by vengeance, and powerful, steady in valor. Since all these are incapable of being vanquished, a terrible battle will occur. All the warriors are skilled in the use of weapons, and all of them will attain great fame. None of them will wish for the lordship of everything if that were to be obtained through defeat. Therefore, there will be certain peace only when they have been killed, or when Falguna is. But no one exists who can kill Arjuna, or even vanquish him. How will his wrath towards the evil ones be pacified? That warrior is the equal of the 30 gods and gratified Agni in Kandava. He conquered all the lords of the earth as at the great Rajasuya sacrifice. O Sanjaya, O son, when a bolt of thunder strikes the peak of a mountain, it leaves some remnants, but the arrows shot by Kiriti leave no remnant. Like the arrows of the sun scorches everything that is mobile and immobile, the arrows shot by Partha's arm will scorch my sons. It seems as if the armies of the Bharatas have already been scattered, frightened at the roar of Sabyasachi's chariot. Kiriti stands like an assassin in battle, unleashing showers of arrows. The Creator has created him like the destroyer of everything. But that which is bound to happen cannot be avoided. Sanjaya replied, O king, what you have said about Duryodhana is exactly as you have stated it. O Lord of the earth, nothing that you have said is untrue. On seeking the famous Krishna, their wife, according to Dharma, brought into the assembly hall, the infinitely energetic Pandavas have been filled with wrath. O great king, on hearing Dushasana's words that have terrible consequences, and those of Karna, I think that they have not been able to sleep. O great king, I have heard how Partha has used his bow in battle to satisfy Stanu, who has 11 forms. Stanu is Shiva's name. Kapardin, the illustrious lord of all the gods himself, fought with Falguna in the disguise of a hunter, so as to test him. It was then that the lords of the world showed themselves to Arjuna, the valorous bull among the Kauravas, who perform austerities for the sake of weapons. There is no other man on earth except Falguna who can dare to see those gods in their direct forms. O king, what man can wear out in battle a warrior whom Maheshvara could not wear out in the form that he had assumed? Having oppressed Draupadi and angered the Pandavas, they have brought this terrible and hair-raising calamity on themselves. On seeing Duryodhana display his size to Draupadi, Bhima's lips trembled and he spoke these mighty words. O evil one, O one who cheats with dice, after 13 years have elapsed, I will smash your sides with my club, which is like the Vajra. All of them are supreme among warriors. All of them have infinite energy. All of them are skilled in every weapon. All of them are invincible, even to the gods. The Parthas are full of valor and vengeance. Because of their wrath, I think that they will kill your sons in battle. Dhritarashtra said, O Suta, what has Karna achieved by uttering those harsh words? It was extreme enmity that brought Krishna to the assembly hall thus. How can my sons be other than evil-minded when their eldest brother and superior is not established in propriety? O Suta, on seeing that I lack eyes, that bringer of misfortune thinks I lack enterprise and intelligence, and does not pay heed to my words. And those evil advisers, Karna, Sobala, and the others, are bereft of intelligence and extend his many vices. Even if the infinitely energetic Partha shoots arrows playfully, They will scorch my sons, not to speak of when they are shot in wrath. Unleash from the great bow with the great strength of Parta's armed sons, and energized with celestial mantras, they can strike down even the gods. What can one who has Hari Janardana, the protector of the three worlds, as his advisor, protector of well and well-wisher, not conquer? O Sanjaya, this is a great wonder that has been heard, that Arjuna clasped Mahadev with his arms. All the worlds witnessed what had been done in Kandava earlier. With Damodara, Falguna aided the fire. When Partha, Bhima, Vasudev, and the Sattvatas are angered, nothing will be left of my sons, with their advisors and their relatives. 344. Janamejaya said, O sage, after having sent the brave Pandavas into exile, all these lamentations of King Dhritarashtra served no purpose. Why did the king agree with his son Duryodhana, whose intelligence is limited, and anger Pandu's son, the Maharatas? What did Pandu's son eat when they lived in the forest? Tell me whether it was collected from the forest or cultivated. Vaishampayana replied, those bulls among men ate what was obtained from the forest, and animals brought down with pure arrows, after having first offered it to the Brahmanas. O king, when those great archers and warriors dwelt in the forests, Brahmanas with fire and those without fire followed them there. There were 10,000 great souled Snataka Brahmanas who knew about the means of salvation. Yudhishthira sustained them there. After killing Ruru deers, black antelopes, and other sacrificial forest-dwelling animals with his bows, he offered them to Brahmanas in accordance with the rituals. Not a single ill-complexioned or diseased person could be seen there, nor was there anyone who was thin, weak, miserable, or frightened. Dharmaraj Yudhishthir, supreme among the Kauravas, maintained them like his beloved sons, relatives, or brothers from the same womb. Like a mother, the illustrious Draupadi first served her husbands, then all the Brahmanas, and then ate whatever food remained. For the sake of the meat of the deer, they wielded their bows and always made that race decay.
The deer.
The deer. The kings towards the east, the king towards the east, Bhimsena towards the south, the twins towards the west, and also towards the north. Thus did they live in Kamyaka, and 5 years passed. They were without Arjuna and were anxious about him. They engaged themselves in studying, meditating, and sacrificing. Spree 45. Vaishampayana said, O bull among the Bharata lineage, Ambika's son Dhritarashtra let out a deep and hot sigh. He summoned Suta Sanjaya and told him, the two Pandavas, Nakula and Sahadev, are greatly illustrious sons of the gods and are like the king of the gods in their resplendence. They are steadfast in battle, can fight from a distance, and have resolution. Their hands are swift, and they are steadfast in their anger. They are always firm and speedy. When they advance in battle with Bhima and Arjuna at the forefront, they will be established with the valor of lions, and will be as invincible as the Ashvins. O Sanjaya, I do not see any remnants of my soldiers left. Those two sons of the gods are Maharatas and cannot be repulsed in battle. Their anger at Draupadi's oppression will not be assuaged. The Vrishnis are great archers. The Panchalas are greatly energetic. They are protected in battle by Vasudev, who never wavers from the truce. The Parthas will burn down the armies of my sons in battle. O son of Asuta, led by Rama and Krishna, when the Vrishnis advance in battle, even the mountains will not be able to withstand the force. In their midst, if the mighty archer Bhima, whose valor is terrible, is the mighty archer Bhima, whose valor is terrible. He will roam around with an iron club that kills all warriors. The kings on my side will not be able to tolerate the roar of Gandiva, as loud as thunder, or the force of Bhima's club. It is then that I will remember the words of my well-wishers, which should have been remembered, but which I did not heed earlier because I was obedient to Duryodhana. Sanjaya replied, O king, that ignoring was your great transgression. Though capable, you were deluded and did not restrain your son. Having heard that the Pandavas had been vanquished at Achyuta Madhusudana swiftly went to Kamyaka to show his respect to the Parthas. So did Drupada's son, with Drishtadyumna at the forefront. So did Virata, Drishtaketu, and the Maharata Kekayas. O king, through a spy I have learned everything that they had talked about when they met the defeated Parthas, and I have told you that. When they met, they decided that Madhusudana would be Falguna's charioteer if there was a battle in Hari, and Hari agreed. Krishna was also angered when he saw the Parthas in that state, attired in black deerskin for their upper garments. He told Yudhishthira, "At the time of the Rajasuya, I witnessed the prosperity of the Parthas in Indraprastha, so difficult to be obtained by other kings. I saw all the lords of the earth there, terrified because of the energy of your weapons. Vangas, Angas, Pondras, Udras, Cholas, Dravidas, Andrakas, those who live among the shores of the ocean, those who live in cities, Simhalas, Barbaras, Mlechas, those who live in forests, those from the western kingdoms, hundreds from along the ocean, Pallavas, Daradas, all the Kiratas, Yavanas, Shakas, Harahunas, Chinas, Tukaras, Sendavas, Jaguras, Ramatas, Mundas, those from the kingdom ruled by women, Tanganas, and many other who came to serve you at the sacrifice. O bull among the Bharata lineage, that prosperity was transient, and he has been taken away. I will take away the lives of those who have robbed you of it. O Kauravya, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, with Rama, that is Balarama, Bhima, Arjuna, the twins, Akrura, Gada, Samba, Pradyumna, Ahuka, the brave Drishtadyumna, and Shishupala's son, Drishtaketu. I will today kill Duryodhana in battle, together with Karna, Dushashana, Sobala, and whoever else stands against us in battle. You will live in Hastinapur with your brothers. You will possess the prosperity that the sons of Dhritarashtra have. You will rule over this earth. Then, in that assembly of warriors, the king, Yudhishthira, spoke to him, and with the brave Drishtadyumna at the forefront, they listened. O Janardana, I accept this word of yours to be true. O mighty armed one, you will kill my enemies and their followers, but only after certain years have elapsed. O Keshava, let me be true to my word. In the midst of the kings, I gave my promise that I would dwell in the forest. On hearing these words of Dharmaraj, with Drishtadyumna at the forefront, those present in the assembly gave their promise and pacified the wrathful Keshava with sweet words that were appropriate for the occasion. Then, in Vasudev's hearing, they told the unblemished Panchali, O Queen, it is certain that Duryodhana will part with his life because of your anger. O beautiful one, we promise that this will be true. Do not sorrow. O Krishna, there are those who laughed at you then on seeing you angered. Their flesh will be devoured by laughing beasts and birds. Their blood will be drunk by vultures and jackals. There were those who dragged you by the head at the assembly hall. O Panchali, you will see their bodies strewn on the ground, dragged and devoured relentlessly by carnivorous animals. There are those who oppressed you and others who ignored you. They will be beheaded, and the earth will drink their blood. Such were the many words that those bulls among men spoke. All of them were energetic warriors. All of them bore marks of battle. When 13 years have elapsed, those Maharatas appointed by Dharmaraj will advance against us, with Vasudeva at the forefront, Rama, Krishna, Dhananjaya, Pradyumna, Samba, Yuyudhana, Bhima, Madri's sons, the princes of Kekaya, and the sons of Panchala, together with Dharmaraj. All these warriors of the world are great-souled and invincible. They will be accompanied by their followers and soldiers. They will be like angry lions with manes. Is there anyone who desires to live who can withstand them in battle? Dhritarashtra replied, At the time of the gambling, Vidura told me, O Lord of men, if you defeat the Pandavas, it is certain that this will bring about the end of the Kurus. A great fear will arise, and there will be a torrent of blood. O Sutta, I think that this will now happen, the way Kshata had described it to me earlier. It is certain that there will be a battle after the time promised by the Pandavas has elapsed. 346. Janamejaya asked, when the great soul Partha went to Shakra's world for the sake of the weapons, what did Yudhishthira and the other Pandavas do? Vaishampayana said, pardon me. When the great soul Partha went to Shakra's world for the sake of the weapons, those bulls among men lived in Kamyaka, together with Krishna, that is Draupadi. One day, the best of the Bharatas, together with Krishna, were unhappily seated in a deserted spot. They sorrowed over Dhananjaya. There were tears in their throats, and they were miserable. All of them were flooded with grief on account of the separation from Dhananjaya, and were miserable because of the loss of the kingdom. Then the mighty arm Bhima spoke to Yudhishthir. O great king, it was on your instructions that the bull among men went. The lives of the sons of Pandu are established in Arjuna. If he is destroyed, there is no doubt that we ourselves, the Panchalas and their sons, Satyaki and Vasudev, will be destroyed. That energetic one departed without thinking about the many difficulties he would confront. Bibhatsu went on your instructions. What can cause greater grief than that? All of us have depended on the arms of that great souled one, thinking that we will triumph over our enemies and win the earth. It was the influence of the one with the bow that prevented me from killing all Dhritarashtra's sons, together with Sobala, in the midst of that sabha. We have the strength of our arms, and we are controlling the anger for which you are the reason. We are protected by Vasudev. If Krishna and we had killed the enemies led by Karna, we would have ruled the earth, conquered through the strength of our arms. All of us are faced with this calamity because of your vice of gambling. O king, we do not lack in manliness. We are supremely strong among those who are strong. O great king, you must bear in mind the dharma of Kshatriyas. It is not the dharma of Kshatriyas to reside in the forest. The learned have said that the supreme dharma of Kshatriyas is to rule over the kingdom. O king, you know the dharma of Kshatriyas. Do not stray from that path of dharma. O king, let us kill the sons of Dhritarashtra before the 12 years have passed. Return from the forest and summon back Partha and Janardana. O great king, O lord of the earth, let us kill their armies and battle formations in great battle. I will send the sons of Dhritarashtra to another world. Together with Sobala, Duryodhana, Karna, and whoever else wants to fight back, I will kill all the sons of Dhritarashtra. After I have pacified them, you can return again to the forest. O Lord of the earth, if we do this, no blame will be attached to you. O Father, O destroyer of enemies, if a sin is committed, we can perform various sacrifices. O great king, wiping it off in that way, we can attain supreme heaven. O king, this is the way it should be, if our king is not foolish or is not given to procrastination. Indeed, you are always devoted to Dharma, but it is certainly the way of the wise to kill those who are deceitful through deceitful means. There is no sin attached to killing deceitful ones through deceitful means. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, O great king, those who are learned in Dharma say that in accordance with Dharma, a day and a night are equal to an entire year. O illustrious one, O great king, we have heard the words from the Vedas that in times of calamity, one entire year is equal to a day. O Achyuta, therefore, if the Vedas are the authority, regard the passage of the 13 years as equal to a single day. O destroyer of enemies, this is the time to kill Duryodhana and his followers. O king, otherwise he will bring the entire earth under his suzerainty. When Bhima said this, Dharmaraj Yudhishthir inhaled the fragrance of the Pandava's head and spoke to him in tones of pacification. O mighty armed one, there is no doubt that you will kill Suyodhana, together with Gandiva Danva. but only after the 13 years have passed. O Partha, O illustrious one, you have said that the time has arrived, but I cannot utter a lie, because that finds no place in me. O Kanteya, O invisible one, you will kill Suryodhana and his followers, but without resorting to deceit, because that will certainly be sin. While Dharmaraj Yudhishthir was speaking to Bhima, the immensely fortunate and great Rishi Brihadashva arrived. He was a follower of Dharma, and when Dharmaraj, with Dharma in his soul, saw him arrive, he worshipped him with Madhuparka, as is described in the sacred texts. When he was rested and seated, the mighty armed Yudhishthir looked at him and addressed him in these piteous words: O illustrious one, I have been robbed of my riches and my kingdom in gambling with dice. I was challenged by those who were skilled in deceit and skilled in playing with dice. I am not skilled in dice, and the deceitful ones had decided on a course of evil. My wife is more precious to me than my own life, and she was dragged into the Sabha. Is there any king on earth who is as misfortunate as I am? Have you seen anyone else? Have you heard of anyone else? I think that there is no man who is more miserable than I am. Brihadashva replied, O great king, O Pandava, you have said you think that there is no man more unfortunate than you are. O unblemished one, O Lord of the earth, on this I can narrate an account if you wish to hear it. There is the story of a king who was more miserable than you. At this, the king told the illustrious one that he wished to hear the account. He wished to hear about the king who found himself in a situation like his own. Brihadashva said, O king, O Lord of the earth, O Achyuta, then listen with your brothers. There was a king of the Nishadas by the name of Virasena. He had a son named Nala, learned in the ways of Dharma and Artha. We have heard that this king was deceitfully defeated by Pushkara, and though he did not deserve it, lived unhappily in the forest with his wife. When that king lived in the forest, he never had any horses, any chariots, any brothers, or any kin. But you are surrounded by your brave brothers, who are the equals of the gods, and by the foremost among Brahmanas, who are like Brahma himself. Therefore do not sorrow. Yudhishthira said, O best among eloquent ones, I wish to hear in detail the account of that great soul Nala. Please tell it to me.
Should leave it there.
Leave it there?
Because now we've got a long narration of the story of Nala and Damayanti.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite
Yes.
long.
Yes.
Okay, then let it be.